when you like talk to them, they're hiding. They're all just like, I'm a sniper. I'm so cool. I'm so stealthy. Then if they're caught out of position, they're just like screaming and freaking out, and it's a really good touch. Has the game started for you?
No, I'm waiting for a couple more. There, the game started for me. So let's
there we go. Okay.
change the scene so I can grab me overlay up.
And let me ask the important question: do you guys have Wendy's in the UK?
Wendy's?
Yes.
No.
Burger place.
No.
Okay. Wanted to ask about the Baconator, but if you don't have a Wendy's, you don't have a Baconator, so it's okay.
I know the Baconator purely from Epic Mealtime.
Oh my god! Like I just had to ask if they had that in any other country because man, that is like a dumb burger. I don't think I've ever actually had it, but like it is so unhealthy and awful. But it's just hilarious that we have it.
That name alone
I'm proud of it.
Awesome.
The Baconator. I'm proud that we have that burger. Like as an American, like this is our burger. This is our dumb thing that we have.
Okay, AL once again looking for an invade. They're going through Tribush, going to the river, but don't really feel this is going to be successful. Darian got plenty of time to see that coming, and he is on his way out, running to join Diamond Prox for a little party in that bush.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Oscar 5 are all coming across. Do you think they're strong enough to take this, or are they just keeping an eye on things? They're
keeping an eye. AL's level 1 is actually not particularly strong. They do have Janna Tornado for CC, or Janna Shield into Ashe Volley and auto attack for a very, very high burst. But aside from that, their level 1 is not considerably strong. Compared to Ryze, Wukong, Urgot, very, very high damage characters with their level 1 skills. Or minimum, they have very good CC. So they just wanted to kind of see what's going on, drop that ward, see what M5 is up to, because anything else is going to be risky.
Okay, Melina starting Wolves and Blue. Diamond Prox doing his red buff first. So, this is an example of these different jungle routes I mentioned earlier on. Wait and watch it. There is a ward for AL at the blue buff. So they're going to see when Diamond Prox gets around to it, have a good time at. For I suspect a invade on the second blue. But we'll keep watching it. Let's see how Genji can do on Urgot. We've already seen Slepper can rip his Kog'Maw apart. Let's see what he can do to Slepper's Ashe. Now, first thing most people hear, or say, when they hear Slepper's playing Ashe, is a sigh and a comment about arrows. So let's see whether he can redeem himself here and today. He's taking a lot of poke right now. The exhaust is actually used up onto Genja, and at level 2 we do get a low health warning out. Still, of course, no summoner heal on Genja. He's got an exhaust instead.
No heal in the bot lane coming back to bite them right there, because now they got to play very defensively. That volley missing, sneaking in between two creeps just a hit so Genja does not actually take the damage. That volley hitting could have been a possible follow-up and kill for Slepper. Once they hit 2, the frost arrows are going to be very, very big, and Genja's so low already. Actually very scary for M5.
Yeah, he's trying through all his health potions, taking a bit more punishment from Slepper, baits him forward. There's just the shield.
Slepper does have his heal up, but M5 knows it, so they're not gonna get baited.
He's forced Genja into getting shield at level 2 though, so that's a minor win. It means he hasn't got that corrosive charge to start locking on targets. And if he takes it at level 3, it means his Ass's Hunters are not going to be as strong as normal. But that is beside the point, as we have Diamond Prox with a red buff, stalking Ahri in mid lane. Although Extinct seems to know it's going on and will back out safely.
If Slepper was landing a few more volleys, that bot lane would be going so differently.
And the flash comes out from Genja. They're chasing Slepper down. There's the exhaust. Diamond Prox has arrived. The fear, the Q. Slepper does get feared, but luckily it runs him under the tower. He pops his summoner heal anyway and is on the run. Diamond Prox going really, really low. One more auto attack from Slepper's all he's going to take, but he's so close to dropping down to Genja. We do have Melina coming down the mid lane. Flash slow coming from Zinnik. Needs to get a knock up. They're looking for this first blood. Where are you going, Melina? Zinnik's going to grab it on his own. Comes under the tower. First blood goes to Janna with the minion help. Melina wasting his flash. There was no assist at all. And
I think you're a second ahead of me this time.
Minions are OP. And they are, in fact, going to keep chasing on to Genja. There's the stun from Melina. The dive comes out. Extinct has arrived. Ignite and true damage just a little bit too strong. Wow, tower ripping apart Ahri at level 4. But kill is down. 2 kills to nothing. Absolute Legends are already up by 1,500 gold.
And as you can see, top lane not going too positively for Wukong either, so that early pressure from Vladimir is very, very strong and very, very hard for Wukong to deal with. And I gotta say, that was just some great play from both teams. Even though M5 lost that exchange pretty considerably, and that's going to be a very, very big disadvantage, it's really fun watching these players play just because they push it to the limit. Like, Slepper at the very end, before he went back, was going in for an auto attack with at most 2 hits worth of HP. And like he went in, just almost got the poke off and just barely backed up in time. And it's just fun watching him go to the limit. And which you get these really long extended chases because of that. That was a big slip up from Luna to go to the side for some reason and eventually flash and not get an assist.
Darian hiding in this top row, dashes out into Young Buck. That's a big mistake using the dash because Maluno's here. The slow comes out from Young Buck, flashing away, but the stun still lands. Darian going really, really low. The ignite is out onto Young Buck. He realizes he's dead, trying to get away to the side of the map. Grabs an extra couple of CS, and then will let themselves finish him off. So, the speed at which these two have just cleared that lane, the AoE coming out of Udyr and Vladimir is insane.
I gotta give props for getting that extra CS at the end there. It's like, well, I'm dead. Goodbye. Let me just go ahead and just sweep up this CS. Okay. And you'll notice Wukong's build doesn't even have his stealth yet. And he knows he's not going to do a whole lot with it. There's very few options to actually escape when you use that stealth because it doesn't provide any move speed. And this is going very, very poorly from Moscow 5. There's some slip-ups in the bot lane, the fact that there were 2 kills for Janna, which is actually not the worst thing in the world. But still, that's a lot of CS Urgot missed out on. Compare the 42 CS Ashe to the 24 CS Urgot. And Udyr does have 2 assists now. There's just a lot of strength coming in right now for Absolute Legends that M5 is going to have trouble dealing with. Because eventually Ashe is going to get that ult. She's going to be able to chain CC Urgot to the point where Udyr can rush in there and actually get a kill.
I think AL should just switch. Zinnik can go AD carry, Slepper can go support. In this game, I'm not talking in general, just because 2 kills on Zinnik, that's going to be a pretty strong Janna. If he starts building AD items, it might be quite scary.
You're pretty tired too.
I thought they're pretty tired, we'll go with that one. We do have Diamond Prox and Extinct getting found in this jungle by... Sorry, Diamond Prox and Alex each getting found by Extinct, while Maluno is here stealing a red buff. Nothing really that AL can... Nothing that Moscow 5 can do about it, because AL have got this bottom lane pushed up under the tower. Again, it doesn't want to miss out too much to this.
Right now we have Zinnik roaming, and just because Ashe is level 6 and Urgot isn't quite 6 yet and not going to be hit 6 for quite a while, it's safe for her to roam. And yes, there's very little SK could actually do in this position. You're very right about that.
Yeah, there is a tiny thing that SK could do in this position. Yeah.
Now the only disadvantage right now for Slepper is he's out of mana. So he won't be able to do a whole lot in terms of exchanges, but any auto attack pokes he gets off are going to be very significant. And also,
alright, taking quite a bit of a harass from Young Buck. He came down from top lane because he had to hold it, felt he would do better. And Young Buck said, alright, I'll follow you down. I'll beat you up down there instead.
Yep, Young Buck did not, or Darian did not want to get that point in W. Because right now he's got 2-1-2 for his skilled placement. And that's very, very odd. Usually you want level 3 before we get... you want level 3 in a skill, generally. So it's very, very odd. And he's not going to enjoy it. Vladimir running away from that Ryze because Ryze outranges Vladimir with his pokes. So not really a good idea to be near him as Ryze, or as Vladimir.
Let's see. CS, where are we sitting on? Genja 47, Ashe is on 62. And there's a massive wave of minions pushing into this tower for Slepper to take care of. Young Buck with the massive wave of minions of his own, 58 CS to Wukong's 48. Mid lane, Extinct and Ryze, 57 on Ryze and 53 on Extinct. So that's the closest, but Moscow 5 still not quite winning it up. And in fact the jungle will make a difference too, 59 CS to 46, Udyr ahead in that. And that will show you quite how AL, on top of these 3 kills, have a 3,000 gold lead.
With those kills, they've taken lane advantage, and Vladimir just had lane advantage beforehand. He's actually building a ton of armor. Wukong's going to be very, very hard-pressed to actually deal significant damage to Vladimir at this point in the game. His Q does reduce armor by quite a bit, actually, 30%, I believe. And that's going to be very, very nice, but he really just can't survive the damage that Vladimir will be putting out constantly because he doesn't have sustain. He has, I think, let's check his lifesteal. It might be 6%, it might be 9%. 6% lifesteal is not going to survive against a Vladimir.
Darien back in the mid lane. Scared ever so slightly with this Ahri that comes out the side bush. She's got Udyr in support. Needs to be a little bit more worried. He uses his dash up again. We will see Maluna make an appearance, but we've got Ashe arrow flying down the mid lane. Let's go straight down the mid. Darien spots Maluna as he comes out that time round. Nothing too much going to happen from it, stealthing away from Ahri. Winning that trade ever so slightly, but it wasn't too much damage in the first place. Ryze is bullying Young Buck around in the top lane now. He's got a blue buff. Ryze, as you say, is outranging Vlad.
Ryze is very, very good against Vladimir in general. Just very high pressure. Usually you see Vladimir will do okay in lane against him just because he gets a lot of
takes a taunt in the face, gets dived under the tower, the stun goes out. He actually runs off to the side. One ult charge been used by Ahri, so 2 ults left. Last one left up, flashing over the wall. Darien gone. They don't want to chase that much further. Extinct just going to go back into mid lane, push the minions up, and that try and deny as much via tower.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think I'm like a second behind, so feel free to interrupt me.
Worst support 007 goes to Pepper, to me and you. Does start getting poked. He's taking a lot of damage from these volleys now, and you can see he's only got Fairy Charm and Boots. Zinuk, okay, he's had 2 kills, but he's got Philostone and the Heart of Gold. That's a really tanky Janna.
At this point, Urgot is 6, so they can start going for some of those, you know, big swap plays. Well, he's 7. And Sona is 6, so they do have the follow-up from the stun, but they're going to need all those creeps dead, and Slubber's going to have to be very out of position to really do that on their, for that to work with the bot lane on their own. They're going to need Nocturne to support, and he is headed down to that bot lane.
And dragging in. That's where we're going. We've got Ward comes out from Diamond. We do have Ryze on his way down, but he may be too late. This dragon going really, really quickly. Arrow goes out onto Diamond Prox. The smite comes from Maluna before he can even get out of the stun. Nice stun from Gosu Pepper, but Diamond Prox is really, really low. The damaging component from AO's Young Buck Prox. Diamond Prox will fall. They're still chasing down onto Gosu Pepper. They've got the slow out from Ashe. Gosu will drop. And then ult comes over the wall. Darien gets pushed back as soon as he knocks everyone up. Very well played, Janna. Ultra Face going to follow it down. He wants to get this Alex each kill. We'll use the last ult charge to do it. He needs to get back to his team. Ulting back and over. Darien is now trying to stay away from this 5-man AL team. Genja is under tower and safe, but a dragon and 3 kills. Absolute legend playing really, really strong here in game 2. And they're still beating up Genja. Are we going to see a 4-man dive? 5-man dive. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Urgot ult is still up, so it could be a bit risky, but that's about it. And I'd actually like to say something. Wukong can still initiate a fight, even if he's far behind. That is something nice Wukong has. But the problem is, if he doesn't have the survivability, he's just going to die. He will start a fight and then die. But if it's enough, you know, that might be enough CC to win a fight. But at this point, just AL's got so much damage on their team, and that Vladimir's getting tanky, that Luno is getting tanky. And it's just getting very, very scary, and I don't know what they can do right now to have some very, very good Nocturne ganks to start coming back into this game. Laning is clearly not working.
AL looking to get themselves a double Will of the Ancients too.
Which is just going to make Ahri and Vladimir that much stronger. Like, have you seen a Vladimir and Ahri with a double Woda? Now imagine them together.
I haven't seen a double Wota for a long time. So.
Double Woda is not too uncommon in NA. It's a pretty cool strategy. Gonna be much, much rarer next PB patch, or at least on the PB right now.
Yeah. We'll see. That patch might be changed a lot between now and actually going live. That's the whole point of a beta environment. So don't invest too much in those things, guys.
Unless you want to whine on the forums as loudly as possible.
Yes. Unless you want some excuse just to cry at Riot. You don't have to take those.
Make sure to direct all messages to Morello, because he has not as much influence as you think on the actual patches.
So, let's wait and watch. Bottom tower getting poked down by Slepper and Zinnik. Quite a few minions there, they don't want to kill it just yet. Try and deny those where they can. Young Buck, Darien back to their normal mid lane setup. Alexich and Extinct in the top. There's those minions finishing off bottom tower. I still feel rude interrupting this new announcement. Too new.
It's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'll let you finish.
Ultra Face and Extinct and Alex Itch going at it in the top lane. Trade off quite nicely, but Alex just spellvamps it all back up. Extinct will return a little bit more poke. Quite an even trade going on between those two now. And with Ahri on 95 CS and Alex on 107, they're pretty close. Meluno's up here.
What's really scary about this for me is actually just the composition from Absolute Legends. Ashe, a very, very good mid to late game with amazing kiting potential. Vladimir, very, very good late game with his, massive HP pool. Udyr is not so strong, but Ahri is strong, so it's going to be very, very scary, especially because Ahri...
Udyr's coming out from behind the tower. Alexic gets ignited, bolts his whole combo on Ahri already. There's his own ignite, but he drops before he can do enough damage to let it finish. And you're just going to pop that last charge to get away to safety, but there's no one from Moscow 5 close enough to do anything about it. Diamondprox is in base, so there's no fear of a Nocturne ultimate. And Meluno is going to deny quite a bit of CS by taking out these minion waves. Not going to kill the tower just yet, it's got way too much health. And he will walk out of there. Might take a tower hit, not even that, very safe.
And Ahri, when she's far ahead, is a very scary character. She has some problems when she's behind because she has to be very, very close to do damage. But Ahri, when she has a significant advantage, is incredibly difficult to deal with because she's so mobile. And those, I believe, Spirit Fires or Fox Fires?
Fox Fires, I believe.
Fox Fires, as you can tell, is actually what Ultra Face is maxed out, and that's a lot. That's a lot of damage that Extinct is doing right there with those Fox Fires. And the fact that it hits so many people and can do up to 434 damage right now to 3 separate people with one skill on a 4-second cooldown, that is very significant. Normally it's a problem because you have to be close to use it, well, relatively close. Now, I mean, she's so far ahead, the experience she gets, the HP she gets from levels, and the Woda she's going to have very quickly, as well as the MR from a possible Abyssal Scepter rush, actually. Looks like they're going to get the Abyssal Scepter before the Woda.
It's likely the Ashe arrow whiffs completely. There's the Slepper we know and love. Field goal right between Gosu Pepper and Genja. It's not going to slow Meluno down. He's still chasing him with a red and a blue buff. And that stun, they're actually chasing Alexic in mid. The ult from ult from Young Buck on Vladimir will finish him off. Diamondprox now needs to be careful as Extinct. Also, the wall comes around the far side. Does block with that. The Charm will be off cooldown now. Nice troll pull from Young Buck underneath that ult from Sona. Genja gets charmed back under the tower. Ult from Diamondprox goes out just to remove vision. Genja gets a stun from Meluno, even though he tries to get the swap out. The last Q from Ahri will finish off Gosu Pepper. Diamondprox is still on the run. That is 3-4-0. Absolute Legend's going to grab a tier 2 tower as well.
And AL's playing so well.
First person to die gets dubbed defeater as well, so they have that pressure. Darian,
I will agree with that. Yep.
Darian dashing out onto Slepper just to stop that slow spam. She's out of mana though, so no more arrows. And AL are going to back away. Tier 2 tower, first 2 of the game in bottom lane, 10 kills to 0, and they are up by 9,000 gold at 17 minutes.
And I mean, M5 is playing very, very sloppy. There's a lot of mistakes going on. I think they're just tired. Like, it's something unfortunate. It's like, well, they're not playing well and they might be really tired. But like, it happens. And it's just what happens when you have an international tournament like this. That has been going on for quite a while. This was a fairly long tournament, even though it was only 8 teams. We did kind of stagger it out because of the need to be streaming. Yeah.
I mean, that and the games themselves have not been quick. We've seen 2 best of 3s. Well, so far we've seen a best of 3 go to 3 games, and they were all 45, 50-minute matches. So
there were a few 20-minute games, but still, these have been some pretty long games overall. And I mean, AL is tired, or not AL, but AL is actually probably tired just in general. But M5 is tired from playing these games, and because it's so late. So unfortunate, but welcome to the international community.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're not down and out completely yet. They're down, but they're not out. So,
anything can happen, especially with a good Nocturne gank, some good Urgot swaps, and even just like a very, very strong Wukong initiation can be huge. If we see AL clump up way too much and there's a Darian nearby to ult them, that can be huge. That ult is not going to be a showstopper in itself, but with the right follow-up, you know, a good Ryze ult with the AoE damage will be very, very strong for them.
We do get low health warnings onto top lane, so they dived onto Ryze. Slepper tanks the tower as they walk away. That will be top dead. 3 towers to nothing. We've got Ahri and Udyr pushing mid, and they're still looking down. Moscow 5 a little bit spread thin. Two members of AL, Ahri and Udyr, with that arrow missing again, are enough to defend Moscow 5, or to keep Moscow 5 even off this mid tower.
I mean, like, that was an okay arrow. That was just a good dodge from Diamond Prox. Like, nothing but wrong with that arrow.
Fine, I'll give him that one. Let's wait and watch it.
Oh, it just makes
top two towers as well.
It's playing well.
5 turrets to nothing. 33,000 gold to 21,000. 12,000 gold lead as we hit 20 minutes. Don't expect to see a surrender from Moscow 5, although I wouldn't blame them if they did.
Yeah. I mean, in this case, all the lanes kind of lost. And you just saw AL go for a bunch of objectives. The early double kill in the bot lane. While the money didn't go to Ashe, they still lost a lot of experience, they lost a lot of gold, and that is really what set them back. And just kind of this very, very long snowball, starting with top lane not being able to get the support it needed because bottom needed support, and then mid just got, like, everybody got ganked a ton in M5. Just because, you know, AL didn't want to mess around, they're just like, we have an advantage, we have these really, really strong kill characters. We have Ahri, who's very, very mobile, can gank very well with Charm and her ult. So they just went ahead and just started going everywhere and just killing everybody. They were faster on group team fights, they were catching M5 out of position, and everything's just been built up to this point. This is a 13,000 or 12,000 gold advantage, 21 minutes in the game. That is 3 Infinity Edges, ish.
3 Infinity Edges and 50 burgers. I don't know. The one thing that I'll always fear when I'm up against an Urgot and a Nocturne is a switch ultimate nuke bot lane. We didn't see it once.
It didn't happen. And a lot of it was that Urgot hit 6 so late that Nocturne was already, you know, had to be other places. And I don't think I actually saw AL close to that tower once Urgot had hit 6. Like, close to it when Nocturne was in a good position to ult there. I think it might have happened a few times, but like it would have been very, very close, very, very risky because Ashe was just so far ahead at that point in terms of experience, and Janna as well, that shield going to be very, very integral to keeping Ashe alive, and if it's a high level, it's going to be really, really hard for them.
Urgot goes out, Darien forced to dash back onto Slepper, does pop his ult, gets exhausted when he does it. It's not really doing much damage at all, the arrow will land, and he gets pushed further back. Slepper needs to get in the heal, summon heal goes off as well, that should be enough to finish Darien. Doesn't even need a crit. Slepper will grab that. A lot of summoners burnt though.
That was so sloppy from AL.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Genji was bottom
without items.
Yeah, Genji was bottom. That's going to be a Baron attempt. Whether they get it, I don't know. But Nocturne's ult's up. He could ult in and Baron steal it, which will give Moscow 5 a little more of a chance. We'll see how Young Buck can do to control him.
The CV has faded from Baron. And it looks like M5 is just going to give this up.
There's another ward. Baron down to 2,000 health. There's the ult from Darren. He comes across and he gets stunned. And then they kill him. Baron still on 1,500 health. Way too high to smite it. Very nice control by AL. They're actually giving up on the Baron. They're just going to take the fight. Genja and Extinct fighting 1v1. Swapping him on the spot. Udyr grabbing the Ryze kill off on the top side. Genja losing this fight. Does get knocked up, doesn't quite. He flashes over the wall. Ultraface will follow. Extinct. I keep getting that name mixed up, but the Baron will still go to Absolute Legends, even though Slepper's dead.
Rest in peace, Slepper. I don't think Darian's gonna be able to do anything here. Maybe a really, really good play with it. No, there's an Oracle's on Janna, and it looks like Darian actually might be dead.
They're certainly going to chase it.
He should die in this.
There we go. There's the Randy Dins. And there's the stuff. A little bit dead.
So a fun fact, Randu and Zoman actually named after the husband of Shrelia, who eventually worked for Riot. And no longer does, but actually part of the reason why Shrelia left Riot, because he moved down to Irvine, which is down where I live actually, to work on a different company.
It's called a Randy Din. It's in favour of Andy Din. Randy Din, because I renamed it in Krefeld in Germany. And Snoopy likes to remind me of it.
Everybody had a pleasant time with Randy and Australia, like they left on proper terms. Don't want to say anything negative about that. Oh, they're good people.
Of course they are. So, 25,000.
Oh, surrender vote.
Oh, surrender vote comes out from Moscow 5. And
they're gone. They were gone. There was nothing they could do.
And another lead from Diamond proc. So, Absolute Legends will take this 4p all or nothing, €1,000. Moscow 5. Couldn't quite pull it out of the bag in our second game. And Slepper was, as thank you for chat pointing out, the only one to die. Slepper was the feeder, ruining that perfect game. Congratulations to Absolute Legends, unlucky Moscow 5. They gave us some amazing games anyway.